So I'm out here on a cliff soaring again with my 16-meter Samurai. The winds are again over 25 miles an hour, so that's basically the only wing where I'm able to do that. Any larger wing, I wouldn't have any forward penetration anymore. So I'm flying neutral trim, but still I'm moving fairly fast, so I can't trim in more because of the reflex, trim out more because of the reflex profile. I need to maintain my brake authorities and brake usage. So what can I say about the Samurai? It is an excellent wing for paramotoring. So this is not a paragliding wing. It's excellent for paramotoring. It's fast. It is extremely efficient. It's a shark nose design, 63 cells, and an aspect ratio of 5.95. This technology and the design gives it extremely good forward penetration. So it is one of the fastest wings I've ever flown. At the same time, it gives me this type of stability that I do trust the wing not to collapse on me on flights. Even fairly turbulent conditions, I just trim out, add the reflex safety to the wing, and I've encountered no problems. Actually, the only collapses that I've had are on actually cliff soaring on a top landing situation, because you have to top land into fairly bad conditions. This little rotary, etc. So it's a nice wing to fly. On a paramotor, it is a high performance wing, so it's not meant for any beginner or even intermediate pilots. I would say you should have around 200 hours within 3 years or so to have that kind of skill and expertise to fly this type of wings, because they do behave very aggressively. So you need to really respect the wing. Oh, we got a little bit turbulence here on the cliff today, which is fairly odd because we're on the sea, so it should be fairly laminar, but clearly it's not. So I'm feeling some bumps through the wing, but that's actually a good thing. The Samurai gives excellent feedback through the rises, so you would know exactly what is going on with the wing above your head. The rises are newest style with pulleys, and they offer really good trim and speed bar range. So I think trim range is around 10 miles or 16 kilometers from neutral to full out. Plus you can always trim them a little bit more in for this slower flights, for landing or takeoff if necessary. It's a full 5-liner design, hybrid design. So it has a lot of lines and fairly complex. It also has a profile line here, and this design allows the glider to change its profile very efficiently in different trim and speed bar configurations. It does also have a PK system on. So PK system is to engage the trims and the speed bars simultaneously with the speed bar. That's for advanced pilots, competition pilots, slalom racing, but also maybe for anybody who just wants to, you know, be able to change the speed, or in some cases also angle of attack very nicely and fast. So the PK system is really for that. But you do also need to get used to the system, because if you don't, it's gonna surprise you. With a motor flight, it's gonna increase the angle of attack significantly, so you're gonna have a huge dive. But on the same time, if you come out of a maneuver spiral and come up too fast and you get this extreme surge, you go up very high, you can change the angle of attack almost immediately. So you can use it really nicely for pitch control. The tip steering toggles are nice and low on a new serial risers, which are basically at the carabiner attachment point. So it's very nice and comfortable. Even when using high hang point unit, your hands still will be fairly low on a long flights, and it does offer a lot of control. On the characteristic sides, more Samurai is very good with oscillation, so the wing really doesn't oscillate much. It's no problem even in moderate turbulent air to fly hands off. The glider will stay nicely on the center. It focuses you nicely under the glider, and if you should get into oscillation, just a small tap on the brakes focuses you back right underneath the glider. So takeoffs and landings are very easy. 2 meters per second or 5 miles an hour wind, already a nice and easy reverse launch. Glider just stays above your head, so there won't be any problems needing to move back. Forward launch also, the inflation is really nice and smooth. On the same time it's fast, so the glider comes up nicely. Doesn't have a very big tendency to overshoot, but if you are too aggressive on your inflations, you still need to add a little quick brake and just stop the glider overhead. Overall, I think Samurai is one of the most funnest wing to fly in kind of compromise. So if you want to cross country, long flights, it's excellent wing for that. It has a glide 10, so it gives extremely good economy and fuel efficiency on that. Also the speed is very, very good on that. The minimum sink at optimal loads around 1.1. So you're going fast, but you're not dropping like a rock, like in another lot more slalom oriented built gliders where you need a lot of power. Your RPMs need to be very high. On the other side, for slalom flying, the wing doesn't bank that much, and since it has so good oscillation control, going from turn to turn, it needs a little more effort. But again, it's a XC oriented wing. If you play around with your brake setup, shorten the tips, work on your weight shift, it's turns almost as good as any glider. So especially on this 16-meter version, I've experienced only good things, nothing bad so far. So yeah, I will make another video, show more about the risers and talk a little bit about them, how they change the angle of attack of glider, and what does this profile line do, and how does it act, that's connected from the B through a pulley to the D lines. So I will make a video to show that, or some pictures, and then you can decide, is this glider for you? But for me, this is for sure the best glider I've ever owned myself. So I'm gonna show you the view now. And stay tuned, guys. See ya.